Good morning all. In this class we will see the types of data in cluster analysis, remaining two types. So first one is the categorical, ordinal and ratio scaled variables. Objects can be described by categorical, ordinal and ratio scaled variables are as follows. First we will see what is meant by each and every variable. So categorical variables. So categorical variables means the name itself indicates it belongs to different categories. The variable contains different values, each and every value related to different category, so different categories. So categorical variable means the variable column which contains different categories of values. For example, uh, class name, class A, class B, class C, each and every class is a category. Like that, other examples are nothing but different types of items. For example, items, the first one is the groceries, that is one category. Vegetables, fruits, packaged items, milk related items. Like these number of categories, like this number of categories we are having values. These are nothing but categorical. The categorical variable is nothing but it contains the values, uh, values that represent, those represent different categories. Okay, next, ordinal value, ordinal variable. So ordinal variable means it follows some order. Okay, some small to high, high to small. Okay, the or different order, any order that it will follow. Small, medium, large, extra large. So or some other, we can say excellent. Student grading, if you are giving the, so student grading you can give like excellent, fair, good, uh, before good we are having very good, good, uh, average, below average, poor. So like that we can give different grades, no? These grades are nothing but these are having some order. First highest grade is excellent. Okay, next, you have the very good. Okay, so after that you are having good, after that you are having average, next below average, next poor. Like that you are having different grades, and those grades are having the some order. Okay, so that is nothing but ordinal variable. So you can say number of examples for this ordinal variable. You can take number of examples that follow some order, like that. Next, ratio scaled variables. Ratio scaled variable means those consist of some values. Okay, they represent some numerical values. For example, in hospital, if you have say, taken some test, you contain some blood cells. Okay, so patient one contains 1420 blood cells. Okay, so other person, second patient, he or she consists of some 20 blood cells, some other one 1000 blood cells, like that, some numerical values that vary. Okay, that is nothing but ratio scale. For this you have to contain, so but you are having these blood cells. Okay, so you have to contain these many blood cells, then only your health is good. For example, that is 1500, only you are having 1200, 1200 by 1500, that is the ratio scale variable. Okay, next, this is the third type in data in cluster analysis. Types of data in cluster analysis, this is the third type. If the data is these types, categorical, ordinal or ratio scale, we can apply clustering, we can do clustering. So here I am explaining with an example. Suppose sample data of table, except that only object identifier and the variable test1 are available, where test1 is categorical. See here, here I am taking a table. So first object identifier is nothing but, so that is 1 2 3 4. First object 1, object 2, object 3, object 4. Test1, for example, this object is nothing but patient. For example, test1 is nothing but categorical. So that is, if test conducted, the report came like code A, code B, code C, again code A, like that. This is the category. Class A, class B, class C, class A, like that. This is the categorical values. Different categories A, B, C are different categories. Next, test 2, ordinal value, some order. These objects contains, these objects consist of some order: excellent, fair, good, poor, average, like that. Some order it consists of, that is test 2. Test 2 is the ordinal variable I have taken. Next, test 3. Test 3 is the ratio scaled variable I have taken. So for first patient, number of blood cells 445, for second 22. So that may be white blood cells. Okay, so or any the numerical measurement. Okay, next 164, 1210, like that. So different number of blood cells, each and every patient having some blood cells, some report some numerical values there. Okay, the value, the for example the sugar value, so or the BP value, like that. Okay, that is the ratio scaled variable. So in this example, I have taken three types of variables. Categorical variable, first one is the test one is the categorical variable, A, B, C classes, different classes, like that. Second one is the ordinal, that follows some order, excellent, fair, good, average, poor, like that, some order. Third one is the ratio scaled variable. So that is a numerical measurement, that may have 100, 200, 400, like that, any numerical value. So this is the example that it consists of all the three variables. Okay, all the three types of variables: categorical, ordinal, ratio scale. So now we will go with each and every one. First, we see how to calculate the dissimilarity matrix for this categorical data. How we find out the dissimilarity. So see here, code A, code B, code C, code A. Na? So this for this you have to find out the dissimilarity. You can simply say first and fourth rows are same. Okay. So for 1 and 2, first and second, code A, code B different. Code A, code C different. Code A, code A same. So that's why you have, if you are find out the dissimilarity matrix, then what you have to do, the dissimilarity you have to find out, which are similar, that you have to represent as 0. See here, this is a matrix. This is 1 comma 1. 1 comma 1 means similar, na? That's why 0. Similarity we will represent with 0. Any dissimilarity we have to find out. 2 comma 2 0, 3 comma 3 0, 4 comma 4 0. These values, diagonal values are always 0. Why? Because those are equal, those are similar. 1 1, 2 2, 3 3, 4 4. Those are similar. That's why that value is 0. So remaining elements, for remaining elements you can consider for second row first 2 1, compare 2 1, compare 2 1. So object 2, object 1, just to compare. BA, those two are different. Those two are different. That's why the dissimilarity D of 2 comma 1. 3 1, those are different. D of 3 comma 1. 4 1, those are different. D of 4 comma 1. So like that you have to represent. D of 3 comma 2. So third one is different with the second value. So you can observe here. So fair, good, fair, those are different. Excellent, fair, those are different. Like that. So 12 10, 164, those are different. Like that you are having several values. Okay, so dissimilar, you have to represent like this. Okay, so in this matrix you can observe one value as similar. So that is, see here, observe here, 4 1, 4 is code A. Again first is code A. For test 1 you are taking in this example, in this example I am taking a dissimilarity matrix. I am representing here for test 1. For test 1, D of 4 comma 1 you take. D of 4 comma 1, what it contains, 4 comma 1, that is similar, na? That's why it is 0. The value is 0 here. D of 4 comma 1 is 0. So for second, for second what you are doing, D of 4 comma 2 means code A, code B. See here, 3 comma 2, 4 comma 2. 3 comma 2, 4 comma 2 means code C, code B. 4 comma 2, code A, code B. Okay, so for test 1 only you are considering here. For test 1 only you are considering here. You are calculating the dissimilarity matrix. So D of 4 comma 3. Again you go through test 1 and 4 comma 3. Those two are different. All are different. Huh? So only 4 comma 1 is similar. That's why the values are like this. Okay, the values are 4 comma 1 is 0. Here we have one categorical variable, test 1. So for test 1 you just consider p equal to 1. Okay, so that Dij evaluates to 0 if the objects Ij match. If the objects Ij match, for example like this, 4 comma 1 match, code A match, na? So that is 0. So otherwise, code C, code A, different one. Code B, code A, different one. Code B, code C, different one. Like that. Okay. Like that you have to represent. Then you can get this I and J. Okay. 0 if I and J match. 1 if the objects are different. So 1 value get if the objects are different. 0 value get if the objects are matched. Okay. So then you have to substitute those values in this. Okay. Then ordinal variables. So the discrete ordinal variable resembles a categorical variable. So here seeing ordinal variable is nothing but some order it contains. Here what is meant by discrete, what is meant by continuous. Okay, so that we will see. Continuous means that it contains a numerical value, height, age, salary, like that. That is a continuous value, numerical continuous value. 10 to 20. Salary means 20,000 to 30,000, 30,000 to 40,000, 40,000 to 60,000. Like that, it is a continuous value. Next, discrete value. For example, discrete that should contain order means uh, from 0 to 20 or less than 20,000, they are low grade employees. So then that is the low grade employees. Next, next 21,000 to 60,000, those are middle salary employees. So that means average salary employed, average salaried employees. So that is next level. That means order. Low level employees means lower salary employees. Okay, low salary employees. Next, average salary employees, high salary employees. So for greater than 60,000 means those are high salary employees. Okay, so this is the order. Here some order we are following. So this is this low salary employees, average salary employees, high salary employees. I am representing with some name convention. That comes under discrete ordinal variable. It is also having some order. So but we are representing with the naming convention. So again you take other 0 to 20,000, 21 to 60,000, next 60,000, 61,000 to some 1 lakh, greater than 60,000. It is also some order, but it looks like a continuous. Why? Because this is a numerical value. If that numerical value, if you represent with you are representing numerical and it is some order, that is a continuous ordinal variable. If that is a naming convention and some order, so whatever it may be, you take any ordinal that is a discrete different categories. Looks like that, looks like this low salary employee. Next, middle average salary employee, high salary employee. That look like a, that is an order. Here in textbook, it is saying that except that m states of ordinal value are ordered in a meaningful sequence. An ordinal variable can be discrete or continuous. Order is important. Okay, so here the meaningful sequence is there, and ordinal variable can be discrete or continuous. So low level employees, middle has average salary, high salary, like that I can represent that also ordinal variable, and you can represent like this: less than 20,000, 20 to 60,000, greater than 60,000. You can represent like this also. So both are ordinal variables. One is discrete ordinal, one is continuous ordinal variable. That is the difference between discrete ordinal variable and continuous ordinal variable. Okay, so I hope you understood about these variables. A discrete variable, discrete ordinal variable, continuous ordinal variable, ratio scaled variable, and first what we have seen, categorical variables. Okay, here the other interesting thing is, here the discrete ordinal variable resembles categorical variable. So discrete ordinal variables naming you are giving na low salary employee, average salary employee, high salary employee. This looks like a categorical variable. Why? Because if the values you are looking like this na, low salary employee, that is one category. So average salary employee, that is one category. High salary employee, that is one category. Three categories, three classes. So that looks like a categorical variable. That's why discrete ordinal variable looks like a categorical variable. So that is an interesting feature. You can find out the commonality between categorical variable and this ordinal variable, discrete ordinal variable. Okay, so these are the four types actually. Four types of variables we will see in the cluster analysis. We can apply clustering on all these types of data. In the previous session we discussed about remaining two types, interval scaled variables and binary variables. So once again I recapture that those two types of variables, interval scaled variables. So interval scaled variables means it contains the interval. Okay, so some interval 10 to 20, 40 to 60, like that, some interval. So we have to find out the distance for this interval variable. That is the interval variable. You have to find out the mean absolute deviation, standardized measurement, z score value. Mean absolute deviation, that is the formula SF equal to 1 by n into x1f minus mf plus x2f minus mf plus and so on plus mod of xnf minus mf. Here mf is the mean value from each and every variable x1, x2, x3 and so on xn. For each and every value you are subtracting mean value and you are adding all those and dividing with the total number of variables. So that is nothing but the SF value. SF, mean absolute deviation. Calculate standardized measurement for Z score XIF minus MF by SF. Okay, you have to subtract mean value and divide with this mean absolute deviation. Then you can get the Z score value. Euclidean distance, you have to find out the three types of distance in clustering. Why? Because clustering is nothing but similarity and dissimilarity. When you can say that the elements are similar, if you consider an object, so you can say other objects are similar to that when they are nearer to that. How you can say that elements are nearer to particular object? So those are having the minimum distance, then you can say those are nearer to that. Those comes under one cluster. That's why it is very important to find out these distances in clustering technique. So first one is the Euclidean distance, second one is the Manhattan distance, third one is the Minkowski distance. These are the three distances you have to find out. Euclidean distance formula is distance between ij. D of ij equal to square root of xi1 minus xj1 square plus xi2 minus xj2 whole square plus and so on xin minus xjn whole square. That is Euclidean distance. Next, where I is xi1, xi2 and so on xin, j equal to xj1, xj2 and so on xjn. These are two n-dimensional data objects. Ij are two n-dimensional data objects. Next, Manhattan distance is defined as that is d of ij equal to xi1 minus j1 mod xi1 minus xj1 plus mod xi2 minus xj2 plus and so on mod xin minus xjn. So this is the Manhattan distance. In the similar way, you can find out Minkowski distance. D of ij equal to mod xi1 minus xj1 power p plus mod xi2 minus xj2 power p plus and so on mod xin minus xjn power p whole power 1 by p. This is the Minkowski distance. You have to find out these three distances for each and every point. This is very important. Then you find out the distance between those items and you can form a good cluster. Okay, these distances will give the all types of distance values. Then you can find out the similarity values, I can say. Then you can form good clusters. Binary variable. So second one is the binary variable. So binary variable, binary, the name itself indicates it is 0 or 1. Okay, 0 means when absent, 1 means present. Binary variables have interval scaled, then it leads to misleading clustering results. Why? Because interval means that is you have to find out the mean value, you have to find out the distance using those formulas we discussed, Euclid and Manhattan, next Minkowski. So binary variables, you are not having that method. This method is different. That's why which type of data you are going, that is important. You have to divide the data and you have to apply the clustering technique. Therefore, the methods specific to binary data are necessary for computing dissimilarities. In binary variable, for binary variable, you have to find out the dissimilarity. Then you have to follow this method. So why? Because we are having in binary variable, you are having a different procedure for this. Okay, so for first one you are having the different procedure, interval variable. So that's why for based on types of data you have to apply the procedure. First you have to find out the data, that is which type is interval scaled, or it is binary, or it is a categorical ratio scaled variable. Next, discrete continuous ordinal variable. Okay, otherwise there is a mixed type of variable. Yes, you have to find out the data types of data on which you are applying clustering. To binary variables, you are having two types: symmetric binary, asymmetric binary. Symmetric binary is nothing but values are equal. Values are two. So, for example, gender, you are having the male female values. Two values only you should have. Binary means for any binary, asymmetric or symmetric, you should contain only two values: 0 1, that is male female. Okay, only 0 1, the two values only you have to contain. That is binary. But symmetric asymmetric, the difference is symmetric means the are uh, two values are two different values, but those two are equal. Two different values, those two are equal priority. Equal priority. The suitable example, good example for this symmetric binary variable is gender male female. If you employee male female, then there is no difference in any other parameter, salary or any other thing. There is no difference. Those two are considered as equal. So that is a good example for symmetric binary variable. Equal weight, though are having equal value there, though that attribute is having, variable is having. That's why there is symmetric binary variable. Asymmetric binary variable, that is a test, you can say diagnosis test, disease test, that is positive negative, those are completely different. If you are having cough value, fever value, or some any other sugar, bp, that this is positive means that is a other weight. Positive means the weight is different, negative the weight is different, those two are not equal. So that's why that is the those examples we can consider for asymmetric binary variable. Symmetric binary dissimilarity, you are having formula like this: r plus s by q plus r plus s plus t. So if you can take any variables, only q r s t not, you can take a b c d x y z, like that you can take any value. The formula is this. What is these values that we will see in the next slide. So that is you have to take contingency table. So two objects you have to take. In these two objects, one object you have to take one zero value, other object also 1 0. So then 1 1 that can be represented with p, 1 0 that can be represented with q, 0 1 that can be represented with r, 0 0 that can be represented with s. Okay, so the 1 1 1 0 0 1 0 0. The simple matching coefficient, the dissimilarity, you have to find out the dissimilarity. Means dissimilarity of I comma j equal to here q plus r by p plus q plus r plus s. So in this contingency table, so q means what here? 1 0. So a number of 1 zeros. How many 1 zeros you are having in the two rows for the two objects, for the I and j objects? How many 1 zeros you are having? Next, r means how many 0 1s you are having in that particular two rows. So you have to calculate and you have to substitute the values here. Okay, so in the same way, for asymmetric binary variable also, dissimilarity you have to find out q plus r by p plus q plus r, that is the formula. So just you have to substitute and you have to find out the dissimilarity. Types of data in cluster analysis. Consider the patient record table that contain the attributes name, gender, fever, cough, test 1, test 2, 3 and 4. Okay, their name is an object identifier. uh, Name is first, the name is object identifier, different names there, that's why that is object identifier. Gender is symmetric attribute. See here, gender is symmetric. Why? Because only two values. Next, fever, cough, test 1, test 2 and so on, these are asymmetric binary. Why? Because these are having different weights. We already discussed now what is meant by asymmetric binary. So these all comes under fever, cough, test 1, test 2 and so on, test 4 na? From fever to test 4 all are asymmetric binary. Gender is symmetric binary. That's why here I am finding the dissimilarity between two asymmetric binary attributes, asymmetric binary variables. Using this, we are having formula. just dissimilarity between two objects Jack and Mary is q plus r by p plus q plus r. Q means here, what is q? That is 1 0. How many 1 zeros are there? See here. Um, Here q plus r na 1 zeros. How many 1 zeros are there? Any 1 0 means yes no or pos pn. Yes no pn. Any value there? No. See here. Here yes and p I am representing with 1. S and P I am representing with 1. No negative, I am representing with 0. Okay. So then here Pn, Pn or Yn. So we are not having. That's why this value is 0. Next that is 0 1. PQRS, R value is 0 1 na? So Q plus R formula na, R value is 0 1. 0 1 means YP, sorry, YN, NY, 0 na, NY or NP. See here, NY, NP are there, only one NP is there, test 3. That's why the value is 1. P means 1 1. 1 1 means YY or PP. Fever YY. Next, test 1, PP. Only two values are 2 plus 0 plus 1. Like that, you have to substitute the value, you have to find out the dissimilarity. Like that, you have to find out the dissimilarity for these three objects: Jack, Mary, Jim. These three attributes. You can find out for each two objects. That a combination of two objects. Jack, Mary, you find out the distance. You can find out the distance. Mary, Jim, you can find out the distance. That is a dissimilarity. Sorry, I mean here dissimilarity. Jack and Jim, you can find out the dissimilarity. So like this, you can find out the dissimilarity between two binary variables. Next category variable we have seen now itself how you have to find out the dissimilarity. Where those two are completely equal, then you have to put 0. Otherwise, you have to put the dissimilarity value. Like this, other dissimilarity we are representing with 1. Completely similar, we are representing with 0. The next ordinal variable. Okay. This is the types of data in cluster analysis. Okay. The next session we will see clustering method.